Foxes have a particular look that makes them completely unique. They are small to medium-sized mammals. The average red fox is roughly the same size as a large house cat. A fox is a small animal that has a large tail and pointy ears. A red fox's body is a red or orange color with white underbelly and black legs. A fox's tail is called a brush, and the white tip of the red fox's tail is called a tag. Foxes come in many shapes and sizes, depending on the part of the world where they live. Red foxes are the most common of all the foxes and live in many places around the world. We're going to talk about what foxes look like, including red foxes, gray foxes, Fennec foxes, and Arctic foxes. Fox ears. Foxes are in the Canidae family, and much like other canids, they rely heavily on their ears as a tool of survival. Their large ears are sometimes called trumpets. The fox's ears serve them in many important ways. Red foxes use their ears like radars. They can even rotate them around to pick up sounds from prey or predators. Fox ears can pick up low frequencies. This helps them listen for small rodents that make up a large part of their diets. Fennec foxes are the smallest of the foxes. They have tiny bodies around 2 to 3 pounds, and what they lack in body size, they make up in ear size. Fennec foxes and other desert foxes, such as bat-eared foxes, have extremely large ears. The blood vessels in the ears help them to regulate blood flow and body temperature, which is an important adaptation in the desert. Fox eyes. Fox eyes contain a world of mystery. Foxes have many features that draw your attention to them, but their eyes have an intensity that just feels passionate. Foxes are nocturnal by nature. This is evident from the way that they can see in the dark as well as in the daytime. Most fox pupils are vertically split instead of round like other canids. The structure of their eyes is very similar to cat eyes. Give them the ability to restrict light going into the eye. This allows them to see in many different light conditions, such as night, twilight, and daylight. Their eyes reflect light, also much like cats. A special layer in their eyes gives them night vision. Because their eyes reflect the light that passes through them, at night it may seem like their eyes are glowing. However, it is just the light's reflection. Fox eyes are usually brown, amber, or yellow, but they can also be orange, blue, and even green. Fox tails. A fox's tail is called its brush. Their thick, bushy tails help to define their overall appearance. One cannot help but to think of the tail when they think about a fox. Their tails can also help identify fox species. Red foxes, gray foxes, Arctic foxes, and Fennec foxes all have different colors on their tails. Red foxes have a bushy orange tail, usually with a white tip known as the tail's tag. Red foxes can also have different color morphs, like with silver foxes and black foxes. Gray foxes have a peppered color tail, usually with a black stripe down the top of it, with a black tip or tag. Fennec foxes have a tan or cream-colored tail, with a black tag at the end. Not every fox has the same tail colors, and colors and tags vary with each fox. Foxes use their tails in several interesting ways. A fox will use its tail to signal to other foxes as a form of communication. The hair will stand up on their backs and on their tails if there is a threat. They can also signal other family members that prey is near. Foxes use their tails as insulation. They will wrap themselves up in their tails to help regulate body temperature, which helps them survive in cold, harsh weather conditions. Many foxes also sleep with their tails curled up, as one of their sleeping positions and postures. Fox paws. Fox feet, also known as paws, have a unique print that can make it easier to identify them. Tracking animals in the area can help calculate wild animal populations and provides valuable information. Foxes are pretty small animals. Red foxes weigh between 10 and 30 pounds. The hind leg on red foxes are slightly longer and somewhat disproportionate to the other legs. This gives them a little more spring to their step when pouncing from a crouch. The fox's forepaws have 5 digits, that being 4 toes and 1 dew claw. The hind feet only have 4 digits, with the 4 toes and no dew claw. The fox's toe pads are covered in fur. This is extremely important for Arctic foxes and red foxes that live in the northern hemisphere. The fur on the pads help keep them from getting frostbite and also muffles their footsteps when approaching their prey. What does a red fox look like? An average red fox has mostly orange or reddish fur. Underbellies of red foxes are usually white, along with white on their cheeks and sometimes ears. Red foxes usually have black feet and partially black legs. There are many different color morphs of red foxes. There are also white color morphs and completely melanistic black mutations of red foxes. Because of these different red fox color morphs, it can sometimes be hard to tell the difference between other foxes like Arctic foxes and gray foxes. You can tell the difference by the shapes of their faces. Arctic foxes have wider faces and shorter ears, and gray foxes have a black stripe on their backs and a black-tipped tail. What does a gray fox look like? Gray foxes are usually a little bit smaller than a red fox. They have pepper-colored fur with some white and orange around their faces. Gray foxes have a black stripe down their backs and their tail. You can usually tell a gray fox by the black tag at the end of its tail and by the black stripe on its back. The fur of a gray fox looks a lot like the gray color of tree bark, and they have adapted to camouflage in the wooded areas where they live. What does an Arctic fox look like? An Arctic fox is a fox that lives mostly in the northern hemisphere. The Arctic fox weighs between 7 and 20 pounds, and the females weigh less than the males. Arctic foxes have two color morphs that occur naturally in the wild, the white morph and the blue morph. The white morph helps them blend into the snow, and is the most common of the two color morphs. The blue morph is usually a charcoal gray or bluish gray color. In the summer months, both color morphs tend to change colors into a brown or a more grayish color than white. What does a Fennec fox look like? Fennec foxes are small foxes that are usually a tan color. The colors can vary from light cream to dark tan and even a peppered tan. They are tiny foxes with huge ears and fluffy tails. The Fennec fox usually has a black-tipped tail or a black tag. Fennec foxes have large dark eyes, usually brown. Their main body colors can vary from different types of tan, cream, and even orange colors. These colors help Fennec foxes blend into the desert environments where they live. What animals look like a fox? Foxes have so many different characteristics that they can look like many other animals. Sometimes foxes can look and act like cats, even though they are related to dogs. Here's a quick list of animals that look like foxes: dogs, cats, coyotes, wolves, and jackals. Since the fox is in the Canidae family, they can look a lot like other wild canids. Foxes have a lot in common with cats, like posture and eyes. They are smaller than wolves and coyotes, however, people can still get them confused. In the end, though, foxes are very unique and can usually be told apart from their canine cousins. Hopefully this video will help you spot a fox in the wild and tell them apart from these other animals. Well, that's it for today. If you found this video useful, consider liking it and subscribing to our channel. Also check out our website, allthingsfoxes.com, for more awesome fox information. Until next time.
All things foxes.